So the little baby sea turtle and his new trusty friend, the deranged walrus, and then they come to a beaver dam and they are stuck and don't know what to do now.
They are stuck at a beaver dam. And, you know, they're sitting there and they're like, what are we gonna do? We're just, you know, we're so far from home.
We're deranged.
And, you know, and I have a mental disability and I think I should be home with the other deranged walrus horse things or whatever. So they said, you know what, forget all that, we're going home. So they turn their fishy tails around, or their flippers, and the, you know, whatever the walrus horse has on his hooves. Turn around. So they're making their journey home, but unfortunately, there was a big storm, and the lightning came down. The sea was really high.
But they could have climbed up a tree.
They didn't climb up a tree. This is my story. And a bolt of lightning came down and zapped poor Marty, and he became a vegetable. Very, very sad. What was the sea turtle's name? Do you have a name?
No.
The retarded sea turtle went home. The end.
She needed some excitement in her life. So she decided...
Because being rich and famous isn't exciting
at all. Enough. So she got in her private plane and went to Las Vegas. And stayed at the top of the, Mirage? So we have her
Stratosphere.
The Stratosphere. So she stayed at the very top. She's really getting ready to go party. Okay, well, Jennifer Aniston was a little bit too much of a wuss to do the bungee jump off the Stratosphere.
Oh.
But she did everything else. And then some. So she went to the craps table. She was shooting craps, and she was doing pretty well. She was winning pretty good. She was having a good time, and someone in the course of his bet lost a magic compass and wanted to win it back. But he lost everything he had, and she still had that compass. But he is cooking up a plan to get that back. Nasty serial killer.
Oh, God. As it turns out, this particular guy that lost his compass was the old man. That makes sense. And he had his cane. So, she leaves and goes and does something, and he goes up to his hotel room to devise his evil plot. And he's sitting there thinking, and he's, you know, he's looking out his window at the moon. And, you know, he's a serial killer, and most of them are pretty psychotic. So the moon starts talking to him. He goes, hey, old man, I got an idea. And the old man goes, okay, moon. You know, I don't really trust you, because you're the moon. And so the moon says, take this magic key. I stole it from an ogress. And it unlocks a box of power, just unforetold, you know, all that stuff. The old man takes the key. It's a very grand gesture, the moon handing down the key to this mortal man. He's taking it from his hotel balcony. He gets this key, and it's, you know, dazzling in the moonlight, and he's holding it in his hand. It's like, oh. So once I get this this object of superior power, then I'll have the power to win not only my compass back, but Jennifer Aniston as well. And then...
Yeah.
So he takes this key and he unlocks it. The box opens, a glorious beam of blue light just like shoots out, and it's just like, hallelujah. And then like this miniature choir is like singing, and it's like, ah. And so out of the blue beam of light that just shot out of his box, a little security card comes out. So this card unlocks a lot of money he did not know he had. And he's like, ooh, I'm going to take this money and I'm going to show up at Jennifer Aniston's house, win back my compass, and win her with my millions. So he tries to go to the bank, but it's Vegas. It's 3 in the morning, banks are closed. And so he gets all mad, and he's like hobbling down with his cane. He forgot to take his medicine.
Oops.
So he's an acid pooper, and he's climbing up the stairs. He gets to Jennifer Aniston's door, and he uses his cane and he's trying to beat down the door, but he has to take an acid poop. So
Okay.
So he squats down.
Better than scrotum disease.
Think of it.
Chronic scrotum disease.
So-
Jesus.
He just squats down in the middle of the hallway, and he's like rocking back and forth. And he's like, his knuckles are like crunched together. He's sweating. He's out of breath.
This is a very vivid picture of an old man taking a dump, and I'm not feeling it. Can you move it along?
Okay. So he finally squeezes the last of his dump out. And so he takes off his trousers, but he has a
Why is he doing this now?
Yeah, seriously. He had his pants on the whole time.
Oh my God, Deja.
he has on sweatpants underneath, so he just takes off his trousers and he has his sweatpants.
Fluffy sweatpants.
Look at his sweatpants.
Jeez.
The trousers make
Get to the magnet.
okay. So now that his butt is like twice the size as it used to be, he's getting in the door, and he's like, "Oh, my compass is metal." So he pulls out his magnet and he attracts the compass. But Jennifer Aniston was holding the compass. So in comes Jennifer Aniston holding this compass. He has the compass. He unlocks the compass. He takes his medicine because the poor old man got Crohn's disease and he had to go take a dump in the hallway. He walks out with the compass. Jennifer Aniston sees the dump in the hallway. She calls security. She gets kicked out. She goes home and makes more millions of dollars. The old man doesn't poop in hallways anymore. The end.
Once upon a time in the Far East, in the ancient times, he had lots of wrinkles, but he wasn't that old. He was like 45.
He was wet.
Back in ancient times, that's pretty old. Okay, so, and his job was he was the magistrate's accounting guy. The guy that kept track of all the gold from the taxpayers,
The poor peasants.
the peons and all that good stuff. So one day he's sitting there with his abacus like he always does, and he's counting, and suddenly the numbers sort of start to stick out to him. They're like popping out, and he's like, "What is this? I feel like there's a pattern here." So to him, it reveals this code, this ancient mystical code. It makes a picture, and the picture shows, like, you know, an Asian chick with all her fancy kimono and her hair and cranes and koi fish and flowers and all that other like Asian crap, and then there's an arrow. And the lady's hand is like this, and the arrow's like that. And he's like, what could it mean? And he walks that way until he finds a bag.
This key has to unlock something. And so he picks up the key and he keeps it with him. And he's just walking and walking and walking. And so he's climbing all these stairs. He really needs the exercise because he has a beer belly. Been eating too much fish. He's climbing these...
A beer belly from eating too much fish. Okay.
And he drinks beer too.
That's fish belly.
He has a beer fish belly.
I didn't think they had beer.
Yeah, sake.
He has a sake fish sake belly. So he's walking up the stairs, burning some calories. And so at the tip of the stairs, he sees like this weird rainbow start to form. And he's like, oh, this might be a passageway to what I'm looking for. And so he tries to touch the rainbow, and a little cloud comes down, and he feels that it's like solid. So he gets on it, and the cloud just starts to take him up this rainbow, and he goes to this curve, and then...
So he is over the rainbow on a cloud.
So...
We're in Oz now. Okay. So, actually, the cloud takes him to a new and distant land. And he still has the magic key. So he comes upon a door in a tree. And he goes,
Oh, okay.
I wonder what this is. So he pulls out his key and he unlocks the door and he goes inside and he finds
Jennifer Aniston?
the magic Asian maiden has been trapped there for 100 of years and he's just
she's pretty old.
Yeah. They're all pretty old in any way. He gives her a kiss, wakes her up, and they live happily
Is this
ever
Sleeping-
after, and
Sleeping
then they
Beauty?
take the
Yeah.
airplane back to his...
He went from over the rainbow on an airplane back to ancient Asia.
There you go.
That's what happened? Okay.
I like the
Good
cloud.
game,